Friends from the media, we have a very tight schedule. The Minister has to take a flight. May I request you to please take the sides while Mr. Rakesh Shah, President of the Chamber, delivers the welcome address.
Honorable Dr. Prabhu, former President of the Chamber, fellow members,
Mr. Shah, all his distinguished colleagues, and all my friends from the Chamber. Everybody in India has some expectation from railways. I don't think there is any citizen in India who will have similar expectation from any other sector. Because railways, people travel, people use for transportation, for cargo movement, some supply to railways, so they are depend on railway businesses. Then railways do a lot of capital expenditure, there is a lot of contracts that are given, so people benefit from that. There is employment, railway being the largest employer, railway obviously has people look for it as a career opportunity. Then there are a large number of catering and different kinds of contexts of people, small businesses also depend on that. So it's a huge enterprise on which a lot of people are dependent. So when you talk about railways, it's always difficult to say what I should speak. Because some people will say, if I'm only a traveler by train, my expectations are different. Somebody else will, as I explained to you. But let me just briefly tell you from your perspective as your member. Very briefly, because I have to catch a flight. My flight has changed, so I need to go a little early. One is that we have decided to increase our capital expenditure significantly. When you decide to increase capital expenditure, two things have to be seen. One, where is the money going to come? Because you can always decide to increase anything. Where is the money going to come? I can say I am going to construct now 10 bungalows. I don't have 1 rupee in my pocket. How can I construct forget bungalow? I cannot buy a hut. So we had a challenge. We raised resources, and in a way, large amount of money now is available with the railway. So the first problem of railway is to be no money. That's why there is nothing like financial closure for railway projects. So this year we provide for this, we don't know what happens next year. So some projects are languishing for years together. I changed that, I said no, we cannot do like this. We must have very specific time frames and therefore responsibility for completion, and therefore the money will be properly allocated, so you don't have to worry about the money. So this year the problem of railways was how to spend the money. There is too much of money available within the system. So one is that. So we decided to increase capital expenditure substantially to address so many problems which is leading to late running of trains, congestion on tracks, not having proper modernization, many things. But all of that needs money, so we decided to put. So that is available. Secondly, to execute a project, people must be empowered. All the decision making was done in Delhi. I changed it completely. All the tendering contracts, estimates are now done at the level of general managers and DRM. This is a sea change, a radical change, I would say transformation in the way the railway is thinking, railway is doing business. So it has completely changed, and therefore now 2 general managers are sitting here. So they can tell you whether I am saying or 3 general managers sitting here. So money is available. Now the problem is I keep testing them, why don't you spend the money? So their now problem is, so general managers earlier chased about, they were chasing railway board, give us money. Now the railway board is chasing them, spend the money. So this has changed. So this is first change, significant change. All 3 of them will tell you that. So secondly, the powers have been given. But to be fair to my colleagues, it is not suddenly, if you tell somebody that today you are important. So people don't believe it to begin with. Like what we used to call it Stockholm syndrome. If you are a captive for a long time, then you don't realize even if you are freed that you are freed freely. So therefore, we have this. So general managers and our DRMs and officers have to realize that they are really got a free power. They are not believing. Like if you are tied up and after some time you take away the belt, you don't still think that I am still free. I am still tied up to something. So therefore, delegations have been made, and it was very difficult for me to do the delegation. Nobody wants delegation. Even Mr. Shah, who is doing a business, he will say it's a good idea, but let me start with my competitor, not with me. because this is a business I must control because this is something. Nobody wants to give away the power. Nobody in private sector, government, anywhere. I was the first minister who gave away all the power. Not a single rupee tender has come to me in the last 1 year, 1.5, more than 1 year that I am in office. Not a single rupee tender. In fact, no, I don't take any commercial decision. Nobody comes to me also. Nowadays they realize there is no point wasting our time because he will not do anything. So don't come to me. So first, secondly, we did this is to empower people. Thirdly, they are also ensuring that we'll do contracts on EPC basis. This is a new change, which will again take some time to assimilate in the system. But we'll actually do the EPC contract that will substantially reduce the cost of because here you are buying from you one thing, from you another thing, third thing, end of the day nothing works. There's a good example, Haldia fertilizer plant here. Because of not having a EPC, what happened? Some of you may know, I was Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizer. This is my 9th minister or minister equivalent job, so I dealt with many subjects. So, this will start. Now, implementation of project. This year, there was always a challenge because we had to prepare a DPR, we had to then get approvals from CCA, Cabinet, Niti Aayog and many others, expanded board. But next year, you'll see a huge change. Because when I announced the budget, there was not even a DPR ready. Many of these projects, particularly doubling and tripling. But I was asking my colleagues in the board, earlier, it would take years before announcement of budget will translate into tendering. Forget the implementation. That will happen or not, that will depend upon not power here, power above. So nothing will know. And that's why lakhs of crores of projects are still languishing. But tendering was not happening for years after the project was announced. This year we brought down this gap and they will tell you at least 6 months. So now many of these projects, once because tendering is already given to them, will happen. Even the tendering probably could have issued even before the sanction, so we can actually start the work very soon. But this is something about the project. We are also trying to do everything on e-tendering basis because railway should be a transparent organization. We should not, I have given away the power does not mean that now I am not responsible for whatever happened in the So this is something which we must make sure, and therefore I want to bring in the complete transparency into the railway operations, and for which also working on something which very soon, now the general manager is happy that they got power, now soon they will realize that there is something more to do, that we are creating key result areas for each of the functionary of the railway, whether it's station master, general manager or DRM, but over a period of time even others, whereby we will be able to really make sure that the efficiency of operation in the railways improves dramatically with the accountability that comes in, with the powers given already. If you have started accountability first, then powers later no meaning. So therefore, it is already happening, and this is the type of change that we are trying to bring in a very significant way. The other area which probably will of interest to some of you will be the approval system in the railways. I was told that in railways, there are more traders than manufacturers who actually do. So this is very good, healthy sign. So to bring in innovation into the railways, we need new ideas. But railway being an organization which safety has to be paramount, we cannot just dispense with this requirement of nobody will do the safety audit before the product is introduced. But at the same time, how do you make sure that the innovation is not hampered as a consequence of this? And therefore, we already set up a group which is going through this to find out how RDSO will be the guardian for technology, but not the gatekeeper who will decide what to come in and what not to go out. So there is a difference between a gatekeeper and a guardian. Otherwise, I will be a gatekeeper, so I will not allow anybody to come. You go away, nobody is inside, so nobody can come inside. So therefore, the guardian is important, not the gatekeeper. Trying to change that system dramatically. It will take time. Nothing happens overnight, but we are actually working on many of these areas, trying to work on them. We already launched a program for 400 station development. I think soon the general managers will come and make a presentation to you. We want the industry to participate into this because it's a PPP model. The idea is very easy, that the most profitable, most sought after real estate is where people go. If the land is the most sought after, then even the desert should be more expensive. But why desert land is not expensive? Because nobody wants to go to desert. If you go there first, you will not know where to drink water. So here, where the maximum footfall, therefore there is a customer base available, captive customer base, there are enough eyeballs. Because so many people go, you have a possibility of getting that eyeballs converted into business opportunity, and therefore we are trying to develop this station. This could be a great opportunity for many of you to come and participate. I will urge you, and through you, entire business community of India, that when you make a change, not everybody is happy. Because when you bring in transparency, it was alright, it was good system. Because earlier, I know you, you know me, so there is no problem, everything is fine. But when you bring in transparency, there are always some issues that come up. So you must cooperate, collaborate with all of us and make sure that we really create a system which will be world class in India. So we are trying to change the accounting system. We are trying to do many things. I don't want to tell you all of that. In fact, I would urge you that whatever we have done in last 1 year, I think the general manager would have a copy of that or 1 year project report, isn't it? I think we'll circulate to all the members. We can send them the emails also. So we'll know whatever we are doing. Any ideas you have for the budget, you should try to send it to us so that we can also try to take them on board. But the whole idea is that railways could become a real true engine of growth. If you spend in this year, maybe less next year, far more, over a period of time, in the next 5 years, we spend 8 lakh crores, that's what we plan to do. You can imagine the amount of boost that economy will get. Amount of demand, steel, cement and all other core sectors will get. Of course, that will benefit us also. Because steel and cement get demand, the steel and cement will be also transported by railways. So we are creating our own demand for our own services. So this also is a good advantage. But by doing that, we'll transform the economy. Over a period of time, I am very sure and confident that GDP growth only from railways can be as high as 2.5. It's not easy because you have to arrange everything. The biggest difficult part was to arrange money because everything is alright. Where is the money? Finally. But we could do that, the major part. Also, we have recently issued contracts for 40,000 crores for manufacturing of diesel and electric locomotives in a neighboring state of Bihar, which will also benefit a neighboring state like West Bengal in a significant way. I think we have recently issued orders because I am saying, I think, because I don't know, I don't deal with that. But I think for the wagons, so that also will benefit the West Bengal in a significant way. And I think there are many things which will actually help the businesses to grow as a result of railways. And we have no issues with that. In fact, we'll be happy that businesses grow because railways must grow, the business must grow, the economy of India must grow, more people must be making profits, more of employment should be generated. That's the whole idea of economic growth that we want to in India. It should be equitable and therefore small and medium businesses must grow more. That's very important. So if you actually have a large company which is going to manufacture in India in a big way, and that's all made in India. All the projects of this electric and diesel locomotive will be made in India. Technology will be transferred in India. There will be huge benefit that will come to the manufacturer because what you manufacture is one place. But the whole components, the supply chain that grows with that is huge. So in that supply chain will be of small and medium businesses. So they will grow significantly. The project that we have already agreed with Japan, almost 1 lakh crore of a bullet train, which will bring in again huge investment to the railways, but also creates huge demand of manufacturing. 80-85% of what that project is will be made in India. The technology will be available to us. The users to spin off benefit that will happen. But we also tied up with Japan not only for this, but also to make sure that our entire railway operations will be revamped. I talked to the Prime Minister of Japan, requesting him that don't make it only one project-specific partnership. We want overall development of railway as a whole. Want to elevate the standards of railways in India to the level of Japan over a period of time. We cannot do it tomorrow. But we will want to do it, want to increase and enhance the safety standards of Indian railways to the Japanese standard, which is one of the best in the world. Almost zero accident rate. So we want to move toward that. So this partnership is a hugely beneficial partnership to India, and therefore we are trying to work on that. Even in Japan and Korea, they have both agreed to partner with us for our RDSO. I have just mentioned about RDSO earlier, but RDSO, if they can actually do some innovative research on many areas, and not necessarily now reinvent the wheel because a lot of development has already taken place, we first must catch up something. And from there on we can develop more. But to catch that up, we need to make sure that we have good partners. So both, thanks to my repeated appeal to them, Japanese and Koreans both agreed to collaborate with our RDSO in India. That again will transform the capabilities of Indian Railways in a significant way over a period of time. We are doing many things. I will be very happy if you go through it, and rather than telling you, because then I will be here for next 2-3 days if I keep telling you everything that you have done in the last 1 year. So I think I would rather request you to go through the profile that we have prepared. Look forward to working with you. I'm very happy that the Chamber of Commerce is known by Bharat Chamber of Commerce. Because when we are wealthy, we are known as Bharat. So our identity of Bharat is associated with wealth of India. That's why we call Raja Bharat, and with the Bharat that name came in because that was really the time India was different type of a country. I am sure this Chamber of Commerce will ensure that Bharat is reborn in Bharat. That's what I think I will make tonight. Thank you.
We have our Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, who is very keen that whatever we do should benefit the common people. So the common people will benefit from it. We have entire services of railways are modernized and revamped. So working with them. Secondly, we are also working on modernization and development of stations. So people get a different kind of experience. This is through private-public partnership mode. So it depends upon how we get the response. We are also trying to have a research collaboration with IDSO of India and the Japanese research organization along with the Korean research organization. So we'll be able to use many of the research inputs for improving the customer service.